Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Snow Hansen, and welcome to See What Secrets. So, Capricorn, this day in particular is really important, mainly because, yes, it is the Libra new moon, but it's also the same day as the Libra solar eclipse. Also, that day, I believe that the South Node is in Libra as well. So there's a lot going on when it comes, and Libra's in Mercury as well. Mercury's also in Libra. So a lot of 10th house activation happening on the day of the 14th. And for you, that's very extensive because you guys have been really focused on your image, your self-view, and most importantly, how it's translated to your career. So many of you have gone through great changes when it comes to your career and finances over the past year, which has kind of felt a little difficult because love strain and then career strain kind of back to back, and oftentimes kind of juggling the two. And a lot of it is, again, more refinement, change, transformation, etc., almost like extracting everything in order to grow things that are new. So it has felt very confusing and very difficult. Many of you have been following your divine calling. If not, if you haven't already done it, it sounds like a little voice in the back of your head telling you to make a move, and you're now at a place where you're either ready to do that because you can see somehow how it can navigate you in a better way, mainly because your work environment maybe is getting a little bit toxic or overwhelming. And for others of you who followed the calling earlier and probably went to different types of businesses or different avenues, it's felt like it was like as if it was something that led you into a negative place because you went through all of the change and you followed the divine message, but yet and still what it is that you were trying to create has somehow felt like it's falling through, or it needed so much change that it couldn't move forward the way you wanted it to. So a lot of confusion and a lot of difficulty around 10th house matters. And so that's direct with the career. And then when it comes to self-view and self-image, you guys have changed a lot in terms of how you see yourself and in your self-perception. And these things are going to be applied greatly during this season. You're already kind of aware of your looks post the Leo in Venus transit, which just ended yesterday. And the Leo-Venus transit made you hyper aware of your presentation, and then as we stepped into Libra season, it was your presentation when it came to the world at large. Versus before then, it was kind of month by month, it depended. You know, when it was Leo season, for example, it was kind of just your sex appeal. When it was Virgo season, it was more about like your health and the smaller little details. And then as Libra season came around, it was like, okay, going through all this change when it comes to your identity and your self-view. And now it's, how does the bigger picture view you? How does the bigger world at large, your image on a large scale? And this is your main passion point at this point. Now, the downside is many of you are aware of things that have taken place in the past that have threatened this. So you're remembering certain memories. You're deep in your subconscious, things about institutions, family, relationships, etc. Libra is all about partnerships, the way in which people affect you. So you guys are hyper aware in the back of your mind about things in the past that are ultimately kind of pissing you off. Things that have stood in the way of you being able to create the career that you wanted for yourself or the life that you wanted for yourself. A lot of, I don't even want to say the word blame because many of you can blame the people and things in your past that are the reason why you've been dealing with the strain, or on the earthly plane, it feels like this wouldn't be the case right now if this didn't happen, or this wouldn't be this if that didn't happen, or if I just had a little bit of support at this point in my life, then I could be so much further than where I am right now. And all of these things are, again, around how you show up in the world, your career, your passions. Because of how much you've changed in terms of your identity, you really want to pursue your dreams, and you really want your dreams to be more a part of your reality. You care less about what people think about you. You're caring less and less about other people's perceptions of you, and you just want to be who you really are and feel like you can breathe and stretch your limbs in your identity. And with that happening, and as every day you become more stationary and comfortable in that, now that you want to create something from it, you're hyper aware of what brought you there in the first place. The people that criticized you, ridiculed, bullied you, the betrayals, the career betrayals, the betrayals that you dealt with in love and in family, all the things that have gotten you to the point that you are in right now that you're not necessarily happy about. And it's causing a lot of strain. You're already going through a lot of stress because of the transformation that you're going through right now. And the things that are going on in your subconscious mind are not helping. The good thing is it's making you empowered. So through going through all of those things, your mind is getting sharper, almost like you're at war with your old self and your new self, and you're saying to yourself now that you are going to win. The truest you is going to win this time around and is not going to lose a battle to anyone or anything. So let's get into directly this Libra new moon. So all the things that I just said are what's going on with you right now and what's going to continue to go on with you for the remainder of this week. Going to the Libra new moon, solar eclipse, you're cutting all things and people that do not serve you or do not feel healthy completely out. So the thing about eclipses is they bring about great change. So great endings, great beginnings. And obviously it happening on the same day of this new moon, it's quite intense. So any relationships that have been lingering, you guys have been doing this a lot anyway. You guys have been the kings and queens of cutting people off and cutting the fat in your life. And now this is, you're even more, whereas in the past you would kind of be a little bit hesitant, even though you would do it because it felt like, you know, there was so much trauma, there's so many things going on, you didn't really have a choice. Now you've developed so much that you're at a point where you enjoy it. You're like, this person needs to go, that needs to go, this food that I eat, this article that I read, this TV show, all of these things, you're just trimming it completely. And anything that needs to go. Any unhealthy habits, any unhealthy people, you're done. Completely done this time around. With great endings, completions, 10, etc. What will be, will be. So if you try to hold on to it, it will leave itself. So you know something needs to go, you know a person needs to go, you know an idea needs to go, or a concept or a way of being. If you do not let it go yourself, it will leave. In terms of, right here, Venus, sorry. In terms of Venus, yes, we have things like love, money, resources, and values being a big thing because Libra is a sign of Venus. So as I was saying, all of this is tied to your career, but also your money directly. How you make it, how you feel about it, and the things that you will not do again. You do not want to continue any unhealthy habits with your finances. You do not want to feel scarce. You do not want to feel like you have been undercut or undervalued. You are tired of a feeling where your finances are not working in a way that you want them to. You're really looking for completion and abundance, right? You're looking to feel completely at peace and at ease when it comes to your financial health. You've changed so much. So in the past, it could have been a few years ago where you wanted so much without necessarily understanding its value. And through all of these changes, especially during that Aquarius Saturn transit, and understanding things like having less than what you were comfortable with, you really had to learn the value of your finances, the value of your pentacles, because you've gone through so many ups and downs with them. And now you're at a place where you're looking for comfort, stability, love. You really want to feel loved by your pentacles, and you want to love your pentacles back. And the relationship you've had with this is now changed and created its new formation, and you don't want to go back. You don't want to be put in a position that you're not happy in, and that's in every single way with this Libra transit, because it's your 10th house. So how people see you, your reputation, the way people treat you, you're not going to be bullied, you're not going to be disrespected, you will not be put in any position that you feel vulnerable in, and you're applying that also to your love life, and you're applying it directly to your money and your sense of values. Your values are reflective of what's going on in those departments. But again, it's not like you just want it just for the sake of wanting it. You no longer want a love that looks good on paper or something that has a certain perspective to the outside world. The love that you're looking for is one that nourishes your soul on a deep, deep level. And these conversations about deep love and the depth of love and substance in your relationships and your connections is something that you're very focused on right now. And it translates directly to your money. How are you making it? How do you want to feel when you're making it? How do you want it to feel when it comes back to you? You're really looking for a deep soul connection when it comes to your career and your financial generation. But of course, with all of these things running through your mind, the other side of it is it's running through your head because you're thinking about all the times that that did not happen, or all the things that can stand in the way of it right now. So as you being a cardinal sign, this is going to hit you very, very hard. So keep in mind that everything that I'm saying to you right now, be aware of it, because it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. And it's beginning as the week starts now, and as the week continues on, it's just going to keep going more intensity, with more intensity, and amplifying itself. So you're very aware of your parents, as I said. The past is very much on your mind, as I have been saying. And in a bit of a way, it can feel like it kind of has you in a chokehold. So be wary of that, and do not create a situation where it manifests itself in your current reality, because you can be so burdened by the past and these pains and these difficulties and these frustrations and the things that have held you back and the things that have made you feel all of these ways, that it can basically interfere with what it is that you're dealing with now. So let's say the subconscious is angry about an old relationship where you were degraded and not seen and all of these things that you would not tolerate now. It can make it so that you're not seeing someone who's right in front of you that can give you what it is that you truly desire. Okay, if you let it get too overwhelming, that it pretty much eats away at you, or potentially can destroy you. So when it comes to that, I would say if you guys want to connect with me for some meditations, if you want to connect with me for some, I would say less readings, but I mean, if you want a reading, of course, right, I can help you in that direction. But in terms of a 15-minute meditation or a 30-minute meditation, helping hand, etc., so that you can talk it out and we can kind of breathe it with each other, so that you're not applying it elsewhere outside of your situation, because ultimately it's on your mind, and it's not for the faint of heart, because it's there to make it so that you don't go back and you understand that that needs to never happen again. Things that have taken place in the past that have hurt you or wounded you, or even just the way you saw yourself, things that you allowed, parts of yourself that you let show to the world that you are intolerant of now, is something that you will not allow to take place again. And a part of the way how it does that is kind of by pissing you off, to be honest with you. So you are aware of the past, and you know that you want to have a much better future. People want to help you. This is one thing. I'm going to bring this up a little bit later. I'm going to continue to focus on what's going on in your subconscious mind. You're letting go of old ambitions. That is a big thing, because it's something that can scare you. It's a blessing in disguise, okay? The divine wants to bless you with a new path that works for who you really are. Not the you that you developed in the Capricorn ego self, which was, this is what I need to do in order to achieve. Really, the reason why you did that is because at some point, someone in your life pushed you around, or told you that what it is that you really wanted to do, or who it is that you naturally were, was some kind of a problem. So you developed an ego mask, and your sensitivity was always a problem, your emotions were always a problem, so you got harder and harder and harder. People have criticized you, so you focused more on proving to them that you could achieve, and you could, what it is that you wanted, you could be great in whatever it is that you were going to do. All of that has built an ego identity around you that has frankly been choking you. You've been choking yourself with it, and you've taken on so much energy over the past few years holding on to it, not understanding that it's trying to get away from you, because it's trying to give you what it is that you deserve, which is freedom. All of the people that try to rob you of your freedom, they did so that you would remain stuck, and they can criticize you for being stuck, even if you were great, right? There was something about you that was rigid and trapped in a certain narrative, right? While they remained free to do whatever it is that they felt, and scapegoat you with what it is that you, the trap that you fell for. Okay, so we're releasing all that. No one else's opinion matters. You're going to do whatever it is that you feel. So allow these things to be taken away, allow these things to change, allow these old ideas and these old goals to just melt off of you, and allow the new ones to come into fruition. You can ultimately be extremely abundant with what it is that comes the most natural to you. You just have to focus on it, believe in it, and apply the same structural ideologies that you did to your old work to your new work. And then you'll see it blossom. Especially because a lot of people are here to help you. Kind of like what I said I was going to mention a little bit later, but I might as well bring it up now. Like I was saying in the love reading, people are seeing you in a way that, and I think I said in the career reading, people are seeing you this month in a way that they have not seen you before. And a lot of that has to do with the Virgo Venus transit. So it seems like this serendipity in terms of all of a sudden you're given opportunities and clients want more of you, people want more of you. The work that you've been focused on, your authenticity is appealing to people. You are showing up very magnetic and very powerful. And it's going to continue like that, especially when we step into Scorpio season. So it's great because it'll feel like almost like an automatic return on your investment in terms of you allowing yourself to change and grow and develop as a person. A new life is emerging for you. And it starts in the subconscious mind, which it has been doing for a long time. All of the transformation, which has caused a lot of discomfort and trauma and strain, it's reformed you, and you love yourself now in a way that you did not before. You're aware of yourself in a way now that you were never in the past. So understand how to pat yourself on the back for that, because that is currency within its own right. And as you continue to develop and grow on the external in terms of the love life that you look to acquire, the financial life you look to acquire, the new career, your new 10th house energy, how you're now showing up in the world is something that is going to be phenomenal. And the next 6 months, which is post the eclipse, right? You're going to continue month by month to really show the world who it is that you are and still not care. So they're watching you, but you're watching yourself. And there's nothing better for a Capricorn, to not pay attention to the crowd, but to only pay attention to yourself. Do not let anybody turn you rigid or confused or overly serious, trying to make it so that you have to be subconscious and aware of the fact that they see you. Screw them. It doesn't matter what they're looking at. It doesn't matter what their opinion is. Be unique in who it is that you are. You've always been unique in who it is that you are, and you've allowed people to strip you and strip you and strip you, so you became a shell of yourself. Let all of that melt away from you. Be fully immersed in your own self-confidence and do things your way. Pioneer. That is pretty much where things are. And you know that what it is that you want to put out into the world is specifically you. It's just that, and you actually have the confidence now to do so. It's just a matter of seeing it in the tangible, right? You're loving yourself, as I said, deeper, and you're freeing yourself from old limitations. You're consciously choosing what you love, no matter what. That's a big thing. So you're consciously choosing to pursue your career and what it is that you truly love, and you're consciously choosing to be who it is that you really are, oozing in self-love, and you're also consciously choosing who you want to love, regardless of how your family, friends, whatever may feel about it. You're making conscious decisions to pursue what makes you feel the most alive and the most passionate, because your viewpoint of what is a successful life has changed. You're understanding now that a successful life is one that feels the most full, the one that gives you the most fulfillment, not the one that gives you the most external. You're no longer operating in the external, and any part of you that was pretty much stripped away from you over the past couple of years, especially this last year. And with Venus being in Virgo as well, like I was saying before, there's a lot of conversations tied around devoted love, a deep spiritual depth of love, and what it is that you can receive back. Because you're such a giver, you're really focused on having a strong, beautiful connection. For those of you in romance, if you are already in a connection, you want to figure out how to go deeper with your partner, how to really, really experience love in all of its entirety. And if it's someone else that you are interested in, you're thinking the same thing. And if you are not, if there isn't anyone around you, you're being very, well, a lot of people actually are looking at you, as I was saying, but you're being very cautious because you want something that feels very real. You don't care about how the status looks at it. You're now in a space where it's like, if it has substance, if it speaks to my soul, if it speaks to my spirit, then I know that it aligns with me. Because you're looking for what true success is, which is the embodiment of what makes you feel the most you. Your career is changing, and powerful positive strides in your money as well. And you're feeling highly connected to the divine. So in terms of your finances, it's a lot of serendipity when it comes to your finances, especially here in October. Because of all the career changes and the differences and people seeing you, you are able to get contracts, you're able to get partnerships, you're able to align in a way that you were not before, job changes, career changes, but it's all working in your favor, which is great. So it's not like what was happening a couple of months back where things are being taken away from you, and it's not necessarily like they were being put back in. At this point, it's all about return on your investment. So you're now being given what it is that you truly deserve, and it's going to put you in a space of abundance, which is really just going to increase the self-esteem and the self-love that has already been increasing for you, which is great. And outside of all of this, you're awakening to yourself on a spiritual level, and you've been doing so for a while, okay? And for a lot of you, that is going to go direct with your career. So you're going to want to put in what it is that has been in your subconscious, your belief systems, your spirituality, your connectedness. You really want to intertwine that with your work. So that is why so many of you are getting more focused on your creative work, how it is that you can bring the occult into what it is that you do. Again, something that feels the most fluid and the most natural to you, things that speak to your spirit, things that speak to the depth of that sea-goat soul of yours. It's no longer putting yourself in a place where you're separating from a whole half of yourself in order to exist. It's a full integration of self, which, yes, has been difficult. Of course, it's been very difficult. And I'm happy to say that through the frustrations of this week and the things going on in your subconscious mind that are aggravating you about the past, it's going to help you understand that it's over. And the trueness of it being over happens with the fact that you are not going to allow it again. And you will not repeat the past. And now you're closing the cycles completely in your own hands, and they will not come back again. Okay? And what is beginning this month is truly a new start. So the endings are endings and the beginnings are beginnings, and that's eclipses for you. So that's what I have for you in terms of this Libra. I think that's it. And we're gonna get into the reading now. All right, Capricorn, so what do we have? All right, so let's get into this, shall we? So in terms of the topics, obviously there's a lot going on. No surprise here with the King of Pentacles, which is your career, your sense of, not just your career though, not just your money, but your sense of identity. You are the King of Pentacles, Seagoat. And in your highest elevation and viewpoint of self-confidence and resolve, and when you're feeling abundant, but yet still lighthearted, in your playfulness, in your most balanced space, when you feel like there are no worries, everything's good financially, everything's good romantically, everything is good inside, you are the King of Pentacles. Nothing can bother you. You know how to have a good time, and you are, how do you say, expressing that funness that you like to have with the hard-earned pentacles that you've earned, whether the pentacles represent finances, whether the pentacles represent sense of self-worth, self-value, etc. All of the things that you value are coming up to the surface. You had it clarified by the Magician in reverse with the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So obviously at the biggest head, we have you at the center with your sense of self and your confidence and your resolve, and underneath that is all of the things that are going to be challenging that, or have challenged that, which is unhappy home environments, people who have stolen from you, people that you cannot trust, manipulation, etc. But it's clarified here by being lighthearted, adapting to change and healing. So again, I'm going back to a space where I feel like this is the past rearing its ugly head, because you yourself are not in reverse. You're not sitting here feeling small in any way. It's not up for debate to you who it is that you are now. But what it is that is underneath the surface is all of the things that have gotten in the way of the king being the king, being able to stand stable on this throne, the manipulation, the fears, the difficulties, the experiences, and many of you might be addressing things pertaining to family, romantic relationships, anything that you've seen as home for a period of time is here coming up. Anybody that has put you in a position where you felt unstable. But it's intimate. It's a lot of intimacy here. People who have been close to you, people who have had the power over you in terms of being able to determine what gives you value and what gives you stability. But this is not a negative thing. This is not a bad thing. Here we have clarification, and especially again, here you are identifying yourself as strong, as firm as possible. We don't have a situation where it's feeling like you're in a current nightmare. It feels like the nightmare has already come and gone, and you're aware of that, and you want to adapt to change, grow, heal, evolve, be lighter, be clearer, and more confident in your own skin. Not letting anyone or anything, because here we have in your shadow is the Three of Cups with the, what is this? This is the King of Cups in reverse. So again, emotion, a lot going on with your emotions, feeling fearful that you can't control your emotions. And then the Three of Cups, again, more people, how people, your social dynamics, your social situations have affected your self-esteem, your sense of self, your sense of identity. These things are moving through your shadow because it's like, how is it that your connections, your home environments, these manipulative characters, all these people have played a role in your feeling incapable of controlling yourself emotionally, and the things that have been threatening this strong, confident, abundant, powerful king energy that you are naturally in. You're feeling fearful in terms of socially, even though in the moment it's not even necessarily that it's in front of you. For some of you, it could actually be in front of you. But again, these people have no real power, or whatever this is. It's powerless now at this point, but it's residual. It's sitting with you. It's in you. It's running through you. And it's creating these fears of socialization, these connections, these dynamics that I have had caused so much trauma, and that is what's moving through your head, how these things create more difficulty, how these connections have caused difficulty, and yeah, this emotional instability that you are going to be moving through during this transit. But here we have your advice, which again, change, adapt, heal, grow. Every journey starts with a single step. Be the hunter, not the hunted. So more clarity on the fact that you are okay. You're in charge of this moment. It's just a matter of healing, adapting, changing, and growing to get to this space of the King of Pentacles and stand firm within it. You are here. But these are the things that have challenged you along your way, that are sitting in your subconscious, that you are now learning to let go of. You don't have to be afraid of anyone. You don't have to be afraid of any dynamic, any social situation, any person, any group of people, nothing. The things that have taken place in the past were meant to refine you so that you never were anything less than a king. Okay, so yes, the memories might be moving through you, whatever is going through your subconscious, or it could be showing up in front of you. But again, these people don't have real power. They just want to affect you, but they cannot. And the more you separate and allow yourself to be more lighthearted and more detached and more almost laughing at the narrative itself, the less power that they have. You just have to start. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Don't let anyone back in that once wounded you. If they have returned, shut that door. Do not put yourself back into certain cycles and situations. If you cared about it in the past, and if caring about it in the past caused you wounds, do not start to care about it now just because it's on your mind again. All right? If you were in a position in the past that made you feel wounded, that made you feel hurt, do not revisit that space space. This is all about, especially in terms of this new moon being in your 10th house and it being an eclipse, it's all about you starting new, ending things for good and beginning things for good. Let the past truly be the past and close that door, because you've learned everything that you've needed to learn. You're no longer the hunted. You are the hunter in this position, and it's a matter of starting now. Every journey starts with a single step. It's just one foot forward. This has happened, but here you still are. Regardless of what it is that's in front of you, regardless of what it may seem, this is where you are. And as I was saying, there's a lot of serendipity that's happening in this moment. So by the time the new moon comes around, there's a lot of change that may be happening in terms of your career endeavors, your sense of self. Again, more things pertaining to wealth and value, right? Wealth on a literal sense, but wealth of self, wealth of identity. There's a reason why you're in this position when the new moon comes around, and you're looking at the things that have once challenged it, but now you're ready to move forward and never ever put yourself in a position of vulnerability like you have in the past. Your healing points, we've got 1 and 2. Leave them directly for you. All right, so cultivate, oh, oops, sorry. Cultivate confidence in yourself. You have the inner spiritual power to deal wisely and effectively with any situation. So again, we go back to cultivating confidence, being very firm, stern, fun, abundant. Like the King of Pentacles in Sea Goat energy is, I call it the king that laughs the loudest, right? It kind of reminds me of the King of Wands energy when a sea goat is found itself in the King of Pentacles. You have no worries, you have no bothers. It's when, you know, that notorious reputation of working hard and playing even harder for the sea goat comes into fruition. Here you are in this position and in this place, and laughter is your greatest weapon at this point, because it's coming from a space of complete confidence, knowing that you cannot be wounded in the same way you were in the past, that you are not the same person that you were, that all of these energies and all of these situations tried you, and here it is, and here you are coming out on top, okay? And this card as well, I'm going to read it for you, but it's all about understanding gentleness and that your kindness cannot be taken advantage of. So the double confirmation on these, and both of these are animal cards as well. So it's about understanding your instincts, understanding your clarity. And we go back into the space where it's not a fight. Don't give energy to any of these dynamics, all right? It's listen to it like negative whispers. Like people in a crowd staring at you because you're just too damn beautiful, right? Are you going to look back? Are you going to give them that much energy? You're just going to keep walking, allowing them to look at you in awe. That's how you have to see that energy. It's a double confirmation of understanding that your confidence is your greatest defense, and just being so above things that they don't touch you anymore. What does it mean to sit on the top of that mountain and truly embrace that 10th house energy, and knowing completely and utterly who it is that you are, and that you are abundant regardless of anything on the earthly plane or anything that anybody has ever tried to define you by. Don't allow anyone to take advantage of your kind nature. Reflect upon what actions feel best for you to take, and then follow through with decisiveness. Do not allow negativity to get a grip on your life. Positive energy and outcomes are indicated. So that's the rest of this read. Right? And we have twice being told not to allow anyone to take advantage of your kindness. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. So again, more confirmation on the fact that you heal when you understand that you don't need to fight, that it's not a war. When you're the hunter, not the hunted, a lot of animals here. All right, 1, 2, 3. When you are in this headspace, it's about understanding your own instincts, your own sense of power, your own sense of clarity. None of them are asking you for a fight. None of them are wands or anything along those lines. It's telling you that your nature in itself is already exactly what it is that you need in order to align, because the King of Pentacles knows who, I'm going to say, he is. And the King of Pentacles has things inside of him and outside of him that validate every aspect of his existence. He does not need to be loud. He does not need to be boastful. He does not need very much. He's very aware of himself in every single way. His confidence is deep because whatever it is that he has, he's worked for. Whoever it is that he is, he's taken the time to develop. It is extreme wealth. It is extreme abundance, and not just financial. It's abundance in confidence. It's abundance in self-identity. When you're talking about the pentacles, you're talking about substance. All three earth signs are people of not any specific people, but the energy of them themselves are people of substance, of depth, of especially sea goats, of intuition, of the merger between the earth and the water. Very, very deep, full of layers and layers and layers of character, right? That person is not scarce. That person cannot be bullied. That person cannot be terrorized. That person cannot be taken advantage of. Not because they are like a King of Wands who's going to make sure that you see his fists so you don't try, but it's because his sense of self-worth and self-value is just so high. There is no there's just, how do you say, like, one will not touch a diamond when it's shining so bright, if you get what I mean. And so here we have the healing when it comes to all the ways in which you've been challenged in your relationships, when, especially because we have a lot of confirmation on kindness and like being taken advantage of because of your nature. These were just people in situations that you should have not been a part of, and they were only able to challenge you because you were challenging yourself and your own worth. So you're learning that, you're evolving, you're changing, you know who you are now. It's not up for debate now. And you can move forward with that energy. And it's a great thing. It's a great, wonderful feeling. I mean, with the Libra transit being in your 10th house, the King of Pentacles is an energy you definitely want to be in. That is a very powerful energy. Now, it's not to say it's all sunshine and rainbows, because all of these things are very difficult here. You know, these feelings, these people, these scenarios, but you're okay. It's about calming down, understanding who you are. That is the answer, and moving forward, moving on, changing, adapting, healing. You're the person in power here. So yeah, that's what I have for you. I love you. Ciao.